Nobody saw this coming. Ohio State filled one of the most important coaching vacancies that we had left, and it is a hire that is absolutely shocking, and we need to break it down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Columbus Football 365. If you're an Ohio State football fan, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a ton. But let's jump right into the news for today. After our offensive coordinator, Brian Hartline, was promoted from the offensive coordinator of the Ohio State Buckeyes and play caller, promoted to the head coach at the University of South Florida, we've been looking for a replacement. Chip Kelly picked up another job. Our offensive coordinator from 2024 wasn't going to be able to come back either, but just now we have the breaking news of the coordinator that we have picked up. Coming from On3, breaking news: Ohio State is expected to hire Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith as its new offensive coordinator. This is coming from Pete Nakos. So we have our offensive coordinator. Arthur Smith was as of this morning, was the OC for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is known for having a run-heavy offense, and I know the Pittsburgh Steelers may not be an offense that is seen as being on the cutting edge in the NFL, but this is a guy who is always a hot name when it comes up for even NFL head coaching vacancies this year. And whenever there are vacancies anywhere offensively, Arthur Smith's brain and coaching skills are always a name that is up for a promotion, and it's a name that gets thrown around always. So taking a look at his history, spent a lot of time with the Tennessee Titans, starting actually farther back than this graphic even goes. Started with the Titans back, I believe it was 2011. In 2012, offensive quality control coach with the Titans, then promoted to the offensive line coach, tight ends coach, offensive coordinator. So we could see him moving up in the ranks in the Tennessee Titans system. And he took over as coach of a couple different offensive positional coaching groups. So this is a guy who doesn't just have a specialty in any one spot. He knows how to coach O-linemen, which we need. He knows how to coach tight ends, which, historically has not been a problem for us, but hey, we'll take the experience there. He was the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator from 2019 to 2020, where he was highly successful with Derrick Henry. He was, in fact, so successful that led to him being promoted to the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons from 2021 to 2023. And I know a lot of people watching this video, when they hear the name Arthur Smith, his name is immediately connected to him not working out as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. We have to remember, not being a good head coach does not mean that you are not a good coordinator. Just the same way that if you are a good coordinator, it does not confirm that you are a good head coach. Remember, we are hiring him to be our offensive coordinator, a position where he has been successful in multiple times. Over and over and over again, Arthur Smith was a good coordinator. I'm not going to, dive into everything of why he is such a good coordinator and maybe isn't as good of a head coach, or why he wasn't able to be successful with the Atlanta Falcons. A lot of it was the fact that they didn't have a quarterback when he was there. We have a quarterback at Ohio State, and we got two amazing wide receivers. We may remember back in 2019 and 2020 when he was the OC for the Tennessee Titans, they had another big and athletic wide receiver on that team that he was highly successful coaching. So let's talk about what Arthur Smith actually brings to the table. He is a run-heavy type of play caller. He has had fantastic running backs such as Derrick Henry. He turned Tyler Algier. He helped him, coached him to a 1,000-yard season in the NFL. Tyler Algier is currently the backup running back for the Atlanta Falcons. He was drafted in the 4th round out of BYU the year before they took Bijan. So of course, Bijan's going to take over Tyler Algier. But the point is, Arthur Smith is a run-first offensive coordinator. He loves to use the pistol formation, which is a mix of, it's like the small shotgun. So they call the shotgun the gun formation. And in the shotgun, your quarterback is about 4 feet back from the line of scrimmage, ready to take the shotgun snap. When you are in the pistol, you are about 2 feet back behind the center. So you're not as far back as the gun. So it's, it's a small gun. You're in the pistol. So that's why it's called that. Loves running offense from the pistol formation. Expect a lot of, running from the pistol formation with a single running back. So it's going to be, quarterback that is not under center with a running back behind him. You would think our running back, starting running back next season will be Bo Jackson after his successful season as a freshman. And now that we know he is coming back, we know that is something that brought Arthur Smith to this team. The fact that he has had a little bit of shortcomings in the passing game doesn't concern me because we have phenomenal wide receivers. We have Jeremiah Smith coming back for one final season, and we're going to have Chris Henry Jr., the number 1 wide receiver in 2026 recruiting class. He's also going to be coming in. So we'll have a ton of wide receiver help for Arthur Smith to figure stuff out like that. It does concern me a little bit about how we watched this season, and one of the things that we said about our offense was it's great, but the explosive plays aren't really there. Arthur Smith is not a name that really screams to you explosive plays. So that's something you don't love, because when you have Jeremiah Smith, a player that has been comped to Julio Jones as a high schooler and is still as recently as 2 days ago being comped to Julio Jones by big time news outlets. And it's a great comparison because Jeremiah Smith is really like that. An offense featuring that guy needs to be an explosive offense. You have to be able to find ways to scheme up bombs. And I know Arthur Smith this season on the Pittsburgh Steelers was working with Calvin Austin, who caught some bombs from that team. I'm not saying you make Jeremiah Smith's role so small to the point where he is only a deep threat type of guy, but I want to see this offense be explosive, and that is a concern that I have for Arthur Smith. But one of the things that I really do like about the Arthur Smith hire is the fact that he brings NFL schemes to the college football game. This is why I, not in the video because for whatever reason, didn't make any videos about the offensive coordinator search, but this is why I've been pounding the table, I guess, off camera about bringing in an NFL guy, either like a Dable, maybe a Cliff Kingsbury, or an Arthur Smith is kind of the same thing. I like the idea of bringing the NFL schemes to the college level because the college defenses and college defensive coordinators are not as prepared for it. They haven't seen it as much. So you would think that you can kind of get a jump on these teams by bringing out NFL schematics to the college football game. That's a strategy that worked extremely well with Matt Patricia, who was, funnily enough, also a failed NFL head coach, but successful NFL coordinator that we brought down to the college level. And he's now a very, very successful coordinator at the college football level. As the lines between the NFL game and the college football game, they're starting to get blurred. College is up in its game, and the NFL's bringing in a lot of college schemes, and they're getting pretty close. They're getting very close, especially with NIL. College players starting to get treated by pros. It's probably going to turn into a semi-pro league in about the next couple years, but excited to see what Arthur Smith brings to the table. As surprising of a hire as this is, hopefully he can follow the Matt Patricia system, the Matt Patricia timeline, we'll call it, where, fired in the NFL, but you get rehired as a coordinator, come to Ohio State as the same coordinator, and absolutely kill it. Good luck to Arthur Smith. Let's see how it works out. If you stuck around this long in the video, thank you for watching. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Buckeyes.